Well, hello there, my wiggling, waggling, water-fed polars. How are you? Hopefully you're doing all right, keeping well and keeping busy. In today's video, it's a follow-on video from the last one. The last one we were looking at the features of this brand new brush that's just come out from Unger. So in today's video, we're going to have a look at it in action on the windows, see how it gets on, because you guys, you've been asking, right, I want to see some footage, Pete. So, well, here it comes. Stay tuned. Right then folks, so we're going to put this brush on these PVC windows here just to give you a demonstration of how it works in the real world. We're also going to be using the rinse bar and also the pencil jets just to let you see them working and how it works, and also the fact that this rinse bar can change locations between the top and the bottom of the brush as well. So we'll show you that. In today's video we're also using the Unger Hydro, so I'll show you a little bit of a clip now of how we set that up. So there you go folks, now you've seen how the Unger Hydro works, how the water comes in through the bottom, goes through the filter that's inside, and the pure water comes out the top. And it's also got that handy little reader on the top of the Hydro to let you know how good your pure water is. So anything below 10 ppm is what's recommended for being able to clean windows. So right, without any further ado, let's get this brush on the glass and see how it gets on. Right then folks, I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily change between the rinse bar and the pencil jets using these push fit connectors. Okay, so we're going to disconnect the rinse bar. So all we have to do is push this little blue ring down like so, and then pull out the rinse bar hose. Okay, so we can leave that to one side. The next thing we want to do is grab this other clear hose which goes into our pencil jets. So all we have to do is push that in to our push fit connection like so, and then we're ready to go. And the water will now come out of the pencil jets as opposed to using the rinse bar. So if you want to chop and change between the two on the job, depending on the type of glass you're working on, you can easily do that. In the last video, we mentioned one of the features was this rinse bar. It has two things that you can do with it. One is if you loosen off these two screws, you can adjust the height in which the rinse bar sits at. So at the moment, I have it in its highest setting. So the jets will clear the bristles, will squirt above the bristles, which we'll see in a minute. The other thing that we can do is undo these screws completely and relocate the rinse bar underneath. So I thought we would show you that in today's video, so you can chop and change where the water actually comes out if you prefer to use the rinse bar. So what you're going to need is a positive screwdriver and just literally undo those screws. Once you've undone the screws, remove the rinse bar and then relocate it underneath. Use the same screws that you took out from the top and they will fit in the holes in the bottom. So let's relocate that in there. So there we go folks, that is the rinse bar attached underneath, and you'll notice obviously the hose is not connected yet. So very simply all we need to do again is disconnect from the pencil jets with that push fit connection, reattach our rinse bar like so, and then it is ready to go. So obviously if you're maybe doing conservatory roofs and you want the water to come from the bottom of the brush perhaps, or you're maybe doing the undersides of things, there might be several scenarios where perhaps having the water coming from the bottom of the brush might be more advantageous than it coming from the top. So there you have it, you've got the two options there. You can use it over the top or underneath. Now to be honest with you folks, most of the time I actually prefer having the rinse bar attached and it's in its highest setting. So that's what I primarily use, but try it yourself, experiment with different settings on here, whether it's rinse bar high up, low down, on the underside of the brush, or pencil jets. What do you personally prefer? Let me know in the comment section below, that'd be great. Okay, let's get the water firing through this thing and see it on the window. Right then folks, so you can see I've got the rinse bar on just now. I just wanted to show you the jets, how they're clearing the bristles really nicely. So if you like to rinse on the glass and leave your brush just on that glass as you're coming down. The water will be the last thing touching the glass if you use a rinse bar like this in its highest setting, as long as you don't push too hard, otherwise the bristles do splay out and then the jets can't get past the bristles. So as long as you have quite a light touch on the glass when you're doing your final rinse, so let's say for instance we'd scrub the window like so. Okay, scrub the window, and then the next thing we want to do is do our final rinse. So with a very light pressure coming down the pane, a bit like if you were using a squeegee coming side to side, you'll notice the bristles don't splay out too much, which is really good. Very light pressure, and the last thing touching that glass is the water from the jet. So that's a really nice feature of that if you like to rinse on the glass. And you can notice, folks, when I put it against the frame there with very light pressure, that the bristles will splay out rather well, getting into all those nooks and crannies, especially on wooden windows where there tends to be a fair amount. You can really get the dirt that's trapped in those nooks and crannies very well with these bristles. And you'll notice down here at the lower part of the frame, in this gap here, the bristles get into there really nicely. So if you like to give that kind of area a good clean out, the bristles do rather well at getting into there. So I do really like that about this brush. The bristles are really nice to use, they splay out well and rather well positioned. And you'll notice here, while I'm cleaning the bottom of this frame, it actually cleans the bottom of the sill as well, using these little bristles at the bottom of the brush, which are angled. So when you're working on those windows and you're cleaning the bottom of the frame, it will actually clean the sill for you at the same time, which I think is fantastic. And one of my favorite parts about this brush is that, especially on high windows, I know that this sill is going to be getting a good scrub as well as the bottom of the frame. The other thing we looked at before in the previous video that we mentioned was these bumpers. Now that's a really good feature that I like, because in this instance, say if you were giving it really a good scrub from side to side, and in Scotland we would say giving it laldy. If you were giving it laldy and you banged against that frame, the rubber cover there is going to really take the brunt of that impact. So you're going to leave no dents and chips in your customers' frames, particularly on wooden windows. I've seen that done before, where you've got a hard block that hits the wooden frame and can cause damage. At least with this, you've got that protector that runs around the whole brush. So if you are scrubbing side to side and you do hit that frame, then you've got that peace of mind that it's going to protect not only your customers' frames, but your brush. Right, let's show you the water coming from the pencil jets, shall we? So we'll disconnect our rinse bar like that, switch over to our pencil jets like so. And how fast was that? A couple of seconds? Job's done, ready for pencil jets. Now I'm going to turn the water on. There we go. So you can see there, coming out of the two jets. Try not to spray the camera because my camera is not waterproof. So there you go, you can see the two jets there, and on the bigger brush you get 4 jets. So personally I prefer the slightly smaller brush, but if you're doing sort of commercial jobs, maybe you're doing solar panels, anything like that, you might maybe prefer the bigger one. Me personally, I like the little one here. So there you go, that's the 2 pencil jets going, and we'll show you that on the glass now. So giving that a good scrub. And then personally, when I'm using pencil jets, I like to lift the brush off a little bit off the glass, so then I know the last thing touching the glass is our purified water. So just raise the brush a little bit off the glass, and those 2 pencil jets will just rinse everything down for you very nicely, all the way down the glass like that. And there you have it. And maybe you wanted to blast out this little area at the bottom of the window with the pencil jets, you could do that. And then maybe you wanted to switch back to your rinse bar, so just turn off your water, disconnect that, pop in your rinse bar, switch it back on, and away you go, and you've got your rinse bar going again. So I really like that about this brush, that it covers pretty much all the different features you would really need from a good professional window cleaning brush. It gets into those nooks and crannies. You can switch between pencil and rinse bar really easy. You can relocate that rinse bar, so that's pretty cool. And the bristles, well, they just get everywhere. You know, if you're needing up into the top corners, the bottom corners, scrub the sill, it just gets everywhere. So this brush is really, really good. And for me, I use it, this specific one, on a daily basis, and I have done for months now. And like I said in the previous video, the only thing that lets these brushes down is the weight. They are pretty heavy brushes, so just so you know, you go in with your eyes open. If you do try one of these, it has all those features, but just be aware of that extra bit of weight. Okay, right then, water-fed pole wiggling wagglers, what did you think? What do you think of this brush? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below, so pop that in, that'd be great. If you've used this brush already, let me know what you think, or indeed even just from this video, let me know what you think after you've watched this video, what your opinion is of the setup and the features of this brush. So hopefully you found the video useful. Great to hear your thoughts in the comments box below. Remember to smash the thumbs up button and the subscribe if you can, that'd be super duper appreciated. And you take care, be good, and until the next video comes out, keep on water-fed pole wiggling waggling. Yes, that one. Right, I'm off for a cup of tea. See you later.